So we're here with the Koosmans, right? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Where'd that name come from, by the way?
Oh, you got the shirt on.
Well, I got the Jerry Kuzman shirt.
Oh, okay.
He retired his number.
I got
yeah, I guess we were talking about the '69 Mets.
Okay.
It's a baseball. We know the Kuzmans and we're both baseball guys.
Oh, cool, cool.
It's
Nice.
we follow it pretty. It's a thing. Bill's even like in where you visit stadiums, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I did that. Like I go around different ballparks.
Oh, really? How many have you been
as
to?
a hobby?
Yeah,
200 and
holy cow!
Some.
Yeah, we got to go to Citizens Bank, like
minor league college.
Weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah. I do it with hockey also. But,
Oh, do you? Yeah.
I'm only like a little over 100 in hockey.
Okay, that's cool.
There's more baseball punks out there than you know.
I bet. Well, I know that that's a thing. I know, like, going to away games or just going to ballparks in general to see games all over the country. I know that's a thing that people do. You're at 200 something. Like, how many are there?
Oh, well, I know people that have been to like I'm on this group on Facebook called Ballpark Chasers.
Okay.
There's guys on there that have been to like 800 and some.
Holy crap!
Like, yeah, there's like a million. There's a million colleges around.
Yeah. Oh, so college.
Yeah,
college.
it's just like college. It's like college and minor league.
Minor leagues.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Single A, double A, triple A games
right.
where there'll be 50 people, games where there'll be 500. It all depends.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Have you ever been out to any of the spring training, like either in Clearwater or out in Arizona?
I've only been to Fort Lauderdale for spring training. It was, the Orioles were there at the time.
Nice.
This is about 20 years ago.
Okay, yeah, about what, going on 10 years now. I lived in Arizona, and they have spring training out there.
Right.
It's the Cactus League, yeah. And
And
I never made it to a game, but I was driving for Uber part-time, and I had one of the baseball players in my car. I forget who, some guy from the Giants. It wasn't anybody that's super known, but it was pretty cool because I was like, "What brings you out to Scottsdale?" And I was like, spring training. He's like, "Well, yeah, we're training in the spring." I'm like, "Oh, you're a player." He's like, "Yeah." Anyway,
I was going to a hockey game at University of Minnesota a couple years ago.
Oh, cool!
And I took an Uber from like my hotel, and there was all this traffic. And the driver's like, "Oh, maybe I think the game's letting out." I'm like, "Well, I hope not, because I'm going to."
That's great. All right, let's talk about music now, right? So, how long have you guys been together as the Koosmans?
As the Kuzmans, yeah, we started practicing in like toward the end of 2016.
Okay, yeah, so 10 years,
and then and we started playing. We played our first show like. In 2017.
Okay. Yeah.
That was, at his 4th of July party.
Nice.
Right. And then we played Collingswood Porch Fest that year. That was like the first one.
Okay.
The first Collingswood Porch Fest.
Okay. Oh, cool. So it was the very first one they ever had.
Okay. We were playing with a friend of ours, this guy Alan Fiend, who's Philly legend. He's played in bands called Morphines.
Okay.
They're more like punk, psychedelic, like with this 80s, 90s.
Right.
But Alan played some bass, and I was playing a full kit, drumming, and we all kind of shared the vocals. And that kind of ran its course. We kind of did it and got it together for Bill's 50th birthday party.
Yeah.
Bill was like, "I want to play some songs on my birthday." And Alan and I were like, "Yeah, let's jam."
Yeah, this was before the Kuzmans.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so this is pre-Kuzman. So if we were called anything, I guess it was BAC, so it was Bill, Alan, Chip,
Oh, okay.
I was going to be ABC, but, another bad creation that could have gone.
Yeah, right.
But that spawned, because Al went on and did different things.
Yeah, well, then you moved to Scotland.
Right.
Oh,
so
wow,
I
okay.
was away for a bit.
Yeah,
and then, when we came back, we had wrote some pretty fun stuff with our friend Alan, and Bill and I wanted to give it a go, but I was like, "Well, look, let's just break it down really simply. I'll just play a snare drum with brushes and sing, and you do the guitar, but go acoustic. Let's let's kind of break it down."
Yeah.
And at first it was a little daunting because it was just like, oh shit, filling that to sound with just the two of us.
Yeah.
So that was part of the creative process. But somehow Bill was playing a Shangri-La song, and Heaven Only Knows.
Okay.
And I thought it was something he made up.
Right,
I
nice.
was like, oh, that's good. And of course, he was playing a little faster
right, sure.
So I'm like, yeah, play that again. And I was like, oh, this might work. I was like, because we kind of found that groove.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, so from there, that was sort of the building point. We're like, all right, we can do this. The sound is different because Bill went from electric to acoustic.
Yeah. So you guys, so I want to classify you guys as like acoustic, like you're an acoustic punk duo. Is that fair?
Yeah. I mean, I think we deliver it the same way as if it was plugged in, or if I was in front of a full kit, or just the way we sort of write the songs together. We kind of take that approach to it. I guess it just kind of funnels out just through those two things.
Right.
So I think it was a surprise sometimes, like if people haven't seen us, maybe they get that, ooh, kumbaya, this is going to be some kind of folky thing. We're like, 1, 2, 3, 4, boom.
Yeah, it's definitely not the campfire stuff.
Yeah, that's the shock value, I think.
All right, so let's, for my viewers or listeners who don't know who you guys are really, let's do kind of formal introductions. So give me your name and what you do in the band, and we'll go.
Rudy Kuzman, guitar and vocals.
Okay.
All right. I am Franny Kuzman, drum and vocals.
Awesome. All right, cool. And you guys are all original music, right? Or do you do covers too?
No, we do covers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah.
Is it
just because it's fun?
Mainly originals.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, I first saw you guys at the OAC, the Original Artist Circuit. Yeah, I was there with my kids, and Tim from On the Record.
Oh, great.
And Red Desert Motel. I was sitting next to him, and he's like, "Oh, these guys are great." I think he's known you guys forever, right?
Yeah, no, On the Record, super, man. I mean, that place is, we've played there a few times, and Red Desert Motel are great. We played, I think those were probably we played with them at, what was that? Kung Fu Necktie?
Kung Fu Necktie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So we had, and it was, I think, I don't know how long have they been around, like Red Desert Motel?
That was when I had heard of them, but like, I don't know, a couple of years before I met Tim.
Yeah, they've been around a while. They were in here. I forget what episode they are, but yeah, they were here a while back.
I like their sound. It works with and we played with another band. Wasn't that Professor Fuzz?
Professor Fuzz 63.
This band from Austin. But anyway, it was a really great bill because there was nothing specific about any of the bands that night. I mean, Red Desert Motel has a sound, but it's a little different than what we do. And then this other band was like, it was a good show.
Very cool. Love it. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about kind of individual journeys, if you don't mind, right? So how did you get started? When did it all kind of start for you and all that stuff?
Well, the first band I was in was called No Happy Medium. This goes back to like around 1984.
Yep.
It's funny because there was this guy I knew in the dorms at Drexel, and then he had a friend who played drums. So we were at the drummer's house. He was living with his parents, and then first time I'm there, and his father's like walking around naked, like in the living room. I guess.
Wow.
but then. My friend John, who played guitar too, like his father was a Lutheran pastor, and so then we ended up we would practice at his church.
Oh, okay, cool.
And then the one show we had was a talent show at the church.
Nice.
It was like us and like this guy doing magic tricks, and this little kid doing a puppet show.
Nice,
so it was like Spinal Tap,
right?
Puppet show, No Happy Medium.
Was that first band like a punk band also, or were you something different?
It was. I was the only one that was really like in the punk.
Okay, yeah.
So like that show, we did like I played bass, and we did Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Oh, okay,
and,
yeah.
Like Buddy Holly, we did like Ray Lon, and then the other guy was playing guitar, and we switched, and I was playing guitar, and we did like Rock and Roll High School.
Oh, cool.
Undertones.
Nice.
And,
awesome. Awesome.
So then we got we started doing some original songs, and they had Battle of the Bands at Drexel, and like we didn't get in, so then
okay.
So we kind of broke up after that.
All right.
And I ended up in a band called Tons of Nuns, which was they were pretty big on the Philly punk scene.
Nice.
You know, and then Art DeFioria, who's in the Photon band now. Like he had left the band, and then me and another guitar player replaced him.
Okay.
So I played with them for about a year.
Nice.
This is like 86, 87.
Yep.
And then I started this band called Stink Bomb, and which was named after this our bass player. He had these stink bombs, and they came from Germany, and it said stink bombing on the box, like with a guy holding his nose, like that was like our symbol, you know.
They're the things you light the fuse, right? You throw them.
Well, you just had to I think these are like glass or like liquid, and you just had to throw it like really hard, and it would just break on the floor. You know,
that's fantastic.
So we had a few shows. It was like total chaos. Like we had one really good show. We played live on WKDU, which I have a tape of.
Yeah, I remember KDU back in the day. Yeah, awesome.
And then after that, I was in Rock Gut. I guess it was like the first band that I started that had any kind of following.
Oh yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
So this was like 89 through like 93.
Okay.
You know, we put a 7-inch out, and then we were on a compilation.
Oh, nice. Which one?
Do
you remember?
It's called "Please Don't Lick the Walls"
okay.
on Rave Records.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
And then we recorded like probably like 5 demos, but but only like the one song on the compilation, and then our first 7-inch was the only thing that actually made it.
Okay,
very cool. And then but we opened up for I don't even remember who we opened up for. I think the Dwarves opened up for us once. That was probably
Who did?
The Dwarves.
The Dwarves.
Yeah.
I don't think I knew them. Sounds
they were like
every time
they were like a band you don't want to go on after.
Oh, really? I throw out a band, like, someone that I like. It was like, oh, yeah, we played for them or whatever. I'm like, it always blows my mind because, like, because
we were playing at Tiber Pass, and, like, they were playing at the Friends.
Okay.
And then, I don't know, I guess they wanted, like, to warm up or something, so they threw them on, like, before us at the Tiber.
Nice. Yeah. I almost played at the
And then we all left and went over to the Friends to see them again.
Oh, really? Nice. That's awesome.
Then I was in a band with it was me and a singer from Rock Gut, Steve Tiberi. We were in Rear Admiral, which is kind of like, people kind of lump Rock Gut and Rear Admiral like together, but we didn't really do the same songs. It was
so that's even before I knew Bill.
Right.
I'd heard of Tons of Nuns, and I guess like Rock Gut too.
Okay.
But yeah, we hadn't even met, but we were kind of around the
in the same scene. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. So then we broke up. Our last show was we opened up for the Cows.
Okay.
Again, another band like
1995.
Like what?
And it was funny because like I was talking to like our bass player, and he was like, "We never opened up for the Cows." I'm like, I kind of remember that, and then I saw it on Facebook somewhere.
Nice. You're like, "See, we did." That's awesome.
So then. So I started playing. My friend Brian, who was a bass player in Stink Bomb and had been a drummer in Tons of Nuns, like he moved back to New York, and then he was in a band called Bad Ronald. So I started playing with them. After Rear Admiral broke up, this is like 90. I guess 97. I started playing with them.
Yeah,
and then that pretty much lasted up until I was in the Koosmans.
Okay, cool, awesome. Lots of bands, man. You were all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah, we Bad Ronald was funny because we just like we were too punk rock to have a show, kind of.
Oh, really? Yeah. People were scared to book you.
And we put it out. We recorded an album like in like 2002, and it didn't get released until like 2020.
Really? Why? What takes?
I don't know. We could have, we kind of blew it, I guess. To be honest with you, I mean, like we were asked to do a showcase for Crip Records, and then, maybe they would have put it out, but,
right.
But then we never did the showcase.
Oh, jeez. Whoops. All right, cool. Well, how about you? Where did you get your start and all that?
Yeah, my beginnings are a little more humble and like standard cover bands in like high school and college. But once I went to the University of Pittsburgh, and there was a scene there, but it was definitely you really had to do it yourself. it was just small, and like, the same band would open for, the 2 shows. Like Bill lived in Pittsburgh, he knew these venues. There was the Electric Banana.
Half-Life.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, right.
We open up for
Half-Life.
every show in Pittsburgh.
I mean, which is, it was what it was. But I mean, there was a small scene there. But
Yeah.
it started with cover bands, but then like doing more original stuff, and then like this one band I played for, we were around in the city of Pittsburgh, and the typical venues at the time, and they played us on Pitt's radio station and all that kind of
Nice.
crap. And then we found out the name of the band was Coldwater Flat. I came up with that. And then there was like a band from Boston, it was also Coldwater Flat.
Oh, no.
I remember like a show, this kid showed up and he's like, yeah, what is Coldwater Flat? I'm like, yeah, we're here. And he's like, you're not Coldwater Flat. What do you mean I'm not Coldwater? He's like, I'm from Boston. He was like, I drove all the way here from Ohio.
Oh my God.
I'm like, well, dude,
Sucks
Boston's
for that
a lot
guy.
further, so
Yeah, right.
But yeah, so from there, like I did play in that band, and it was all original. It was more metal than punk.
Okay.
But that was like late 80s,
Yeah,
early
yeah.
90s, when that was like that
Yeah,
big
the height
mush
of-
of like
yeah.
what's thrash, what's
Yeah, it
punk.
was like the end of hair metal, the beginning of grunge, and like the height of thrash metal.
Yeah, everything was kind of mixed up.
Yep.
And then like, they're just playing with friends, but Philly, like, then fast forward to like Philly scene, like probably like mid 90s, late 90s. I played with a band called Ken.
Okay.
And I was just doing vocals for them. And they got around. Like I think that's where I met Bill.
Were you on Ken when they started?
No, that was Mark Beck.
Mark, yeah, I was at their first show.
Yeah, Mark Beck.
Oh,
was
really? Nice.
He fronted Ken for a bit, then I did, and Ken still plays out. I think Jen is singing for anyway. Yeah, so
Yeah,
and that
I saw them a couple years ago.
yeah,
Nice.
they still play out.
Yeah.
Fond memories with that, like playing stuff. They were kind of punky, poppy. But then, Bill and I started noodling around with stuff. I think we played first at a friend's party. Like there was someone had a bass, and I think I had my son's like toy acoustic.
That's when Alan started playing with us, I think, right? Like,
Right, yeah.
that was
But that's how we kind of first started playing.
Yeah,
together,
Okay.
so-
Very cool.
But I think we
Nice.
both like the
Yeah.
idea of keeping it simple. And
Yeah.
just sort
I
of-
didn't I think like our wives decided that like we needed a hobby. She didn't want me going up to New York and playing with Bad Ronald anymore. And then like,
Yeah,
you
no,
know,
we're not that far
so-
apart. I live in Arbeth, so
Oh,
it's
okay.
not too far
Alright.
a jump, and we go back and forth.
Right, right.
Yeah, we work it out. Like
That's
Philly's
cool.
right in the middle. So
Yeah, that's awesome. So you guys have music out as the Koosmans, right?
yeah.
What do you have out? Give me the rundown of that.
Well, we have 4 releases on Bandcamp. That's it.
Okay. I know a lot of bands
So
are going to Bandcamp now that Bandcamp officially banned AI music, which
Yeah.
is pretty awesome.
yeah, that's cool.
So
right?
yeah.
Okay.
So how long? So give me the titles of those albums. If you don't mind.
Well, the first one was just called the Koosmans.
Yeah.
It was 3 songs that came out. This is what happened, like when the pandemic happened.
Mhm.
Right.
It was like we had recorded like 3 songs just for the hell of it, like
Mhm.
before,
Yeah.
and then it was like, oh, the pandemic, and then so I just decided to put it out.
Yep.
And then like 2 days later, this label in Turkey called the Cafe
Really?
and Contact, like
Wow.
they reissued it.
Okay. Yep.
It was basically like just like kind of like double our reach,
Nice. That's awesome.
But I don't think they haven't put anything out in a while, so I don't know if they're active anymore.
Okay.
What does it mean to cop down?
He's totally crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
in Turkish.
Translates as.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool.
So that was like that came out like March of 20, I think, and then later on in 20 we recorded our second release called Franny's Garage,
Okay.
like in Franny's Garage, where we used to,
Hence the
where
title.
we used to practice. And then I guess and then in 23 we did Ennui,
hmm
Right.
and then and Have a Happy Day came out in this past September.
Okay. Cool. So Have a Happy Day is your most
That's the
recent
most recent one,
Yep.
yeah.
That was the most challenging because we had the approach with the other recordings where we would just do it live, so to speak. Like it would
Okay.
just
Yeah.
be,
Yep.
and then mic'd and mixed and all that stuff. But
Mhm.
our pal was like, nah, let's separate it,
Yeah.
and, and it's a little more daunting just because you have to be a bit more on.
Right. And maybe you're playing to a click track or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's
Yep.
just, and it was a good challenge. And I think we kind of rose to it. So it was it turned into fun.
Yeah.
And we did it more over time instead of kind of bang, like, 6 hours. And
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was probably a couple months from beginning to end.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And to that end, like being able to take our time and doing it a bit more, I don't want to say professionally, because like I liked what we did before and it was what it was, but it was more fun, I think, this time. And as we've kind of grown a little bit with our writing songs and doing stuff, to do it that way. So yeah, of all of them, I like all, but the Have a Happy Day. It was Bill's turn to name it. So
okay.
and now I see the sponge, like the sponge on the cover. Like every time it's like every time I see it out and about, I'm like, hey, it's a happy.
That's
day.
great. That's
but
awesome.
yeah, so I'm pretty happy with the way it came out.
Awesome.
It's kind of goes.
How many songs are on that?
On the new one? 12.
12. So that's a full length one, right? Not an EP.
We had 10.
Okay.
And then the other two were more like EPs, I guess.
Okay. Gotcha.
I think there's even a couple songs that might last upwards of 3 minutes. So
oh wow.
Typically we're 1 or 2 and done. You get the point. That's it. Here it is. Okay. I think someone asked once, like, why do you start singing right away when the song starts? Right. And someone else was like over here in the conversation, they were like, well, that's punk rock. I mean, and I was just like, yeah.
Yeah, right. There's no introduction in punk rock.
That's just how we do. This song goes 1, 2, 3.
That's great. All right. So so let's talk a little bit about like the writing style, right? Like, do you guys take turns writing, or do you come to him with a song and say, hey, I got this? Like, you guys write together, or how's that work?
I'm not a real prolific lyric writer.
Okay.
So a lot of times, like Franny will write lyrics, and then I'll make songs out of it.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I think Bill, because I can't play guitar for shit, so that's very simple. And I always think, I joke like, if I had to go on a hiatus, the Kuzman still could continue, and just Bill could sing and just play, but then he'd be a folky. But at any rate, yeah, I mean, I'll just give Bill some words.
Oh, okay.
And sometimes I'll like, give him some kind of sloppy, like, beat or something, and give him an idea of how the tempo of the beat or whatever.
Okay.
And he'll just come up with something.
Cool.
And we'll mix and match. I'll be like, oh yeah, that works there. And he'll be like, oh, how about this there? So it's pretty diplomatic. I mean, because it's got to be one or the other.
Sure.
Like, and some songs are maybe more 60-40. Like Bill like writes something and then like on the flip
you
side,
put lyrics on top
I'll
of
just
it.
put lyrics on it. So it's surprisingly fairly seamless. Like we've just written a whole bunch of new ones just recently, just because we had the time to do it. I had the time to write some lyrics. We just threw them out, and like I think the last two we kind of put together, they're like after only 3 or 4 practices, they're like 75% there.
That's awesome.
So it happens pretty quick.
Yeah,
so
it's cool. Any plans to release those sometime soon?
Yeah, I think we're getting up to about 6 or 7 that we kind of want to put together. I think 10's always a good. I don't know if you want to put a
if we can get out to like around 10 or so, I guess.
Yeah, and so are you thinking maybe 2026 for that, or maybe next year?
I'd like to do it. 26, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have a lot of shows or anything on the horizon right now.
Okay.
We've kind of hit not weird, but we've played all the places we've enjoyed hitting the spots, and now it's just it's real fun to collaborate with other bands. It's nice to, with the bands that we've met, like even Red Desert Motel or whoever, like it's always cool to like do a new venue, like the way they hooked us up with the original artists.
The OAC,
So that was great. Like things like that you kind of stumble into, but I mean I'm looking for some more of that.
Sure.
Just to get out there and
that's awesome.
New.
Yeah, we're usually like kind of slow in the wintertime.
Okay. A lot of bands are.
Yeah, and then we'll like when Porch Fest happens and stuff, then
Yeah,
like that Mayfair.
We'll play
that's
Mayfair,
What's Mayfair?
Collingswood Mayfair.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Usually Saturday before Memorial Day, like.
It's like a big, kind of like is it a carnival, or is it like
it's like a street fair.
Craft show, all that stuff.
Yeah, like people selling stuff and craft shows. It's like Yeah, 3-4 stages.
And you guys are you guys on the bill for that already?
Well, it's not booked yet, but yeah, I think we can get in.
Fingers crossed.
We played it like in 23. We played.
Okay, cool, nice.
So I think the year we played, like Coltrane played. There was a bunch of bands that played. It was fun.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I know it is. It's like an all-day music festival.
They say there's 50,000 people that come to that. I mean, they're not all standing there watching us.
Sure, but throughout the day, yeah. Throughout the day, though, that's a lot of foot traffic. It's a lot of traffic for sure.
Half of them stared, paused, and then kept going. But you take what you can get.
All right, so you guys, I assume you guys are both kind of punk rock guys from the beginning, right?
Yeah, that evolution. I mean, I'm not gonna lie and be like, yeah, man, I was listening to the Ramones when I was 8. I was at CBGBs by the time I was 12. Because I mean, I was a teen in the 80s, so I got more the post-punk stuff, but it was kind of the edge of like punk,
right.
It was funny. I was talking to a friend about that, like how it seemed kind of regimented in a weird way to me. Like there was a lot of rules and things you could listen to. And
I agree. Yeah. I grew up back then too.
It was liberating for me. Like I would say, the punk background, but I was happy for bands that came out that kind of softened it up a bit. Not softened it, but at least kind of took it in a different direction where it still had an edge and it was still like not something you're going to hear on the pop radio station or whatever.
Okay.
Not just radio, but
yeah.
But at any rate, like a band like Camper Van Beethoven or something like that. Something fun. It just like kind of takes the pressure off in a weird way. Like, oh, you can, be good and in a different way. Whatever. So
fast forward a couple years, I think Sum 41 kind of did that, right? I don't know if you agree, but like, punk had its kind of place, and then and there could be a lot of people telling me to fuck off right now when they hear this, but when Sum 41 came out, it was just kind of like, oh, they're like a punk band, but they were all over the radio, kind of like when I'm gonna relate this to the thrash world because I'm a thrash metal guy. Like Metallica put out the Black Album, right?
Yeah.
As a hardcore Metallica fan, I hated that Black Album because I was like, no, this is not what I want. This is not my Metallica,
Yeah.
But it softened the band. It softened thrash metal as a whole genre, and it opened up the entire world for Metallica. They became one of the biggest bands ever when they used to be my coveted little Metallica.
No, I think probably like in the same way, like people would be like, you fucking wanker, but it was a tight community, and it was like, things were, it was like your kind of secret. It was your stuff.
Right,
so,
right.
Oh, shit, the secret's out.
Exactly.
Whatever.
Yep.
So, but like I was saying, in a way though, it kind of, something kind of had to give, and sure as shit it did. Like the late 80s, 90s, all of a sudden, you got punk kind of, out there. And, so, I mean, I don't like to be sort of snooty about it. I mean, I'm a punk, sure, but yeah, man, I'll listen to whatever.
Right. That's cool. Nice.
I mean, I was always, I was influenced, like, as a kid, like listening to my parents listening to the radio, like in the car,
Sure.
And, my dad was in the country, and, my mom would listen, like, just like flip all over the dial. Like,
she's like a radio person.
And then, like, and then, I guess the first record I bought, like on my own, was like The Night Chicago Died.
Okay.
When that came out.
Yeah. Nice.
Well,
nice.
I mean, I was in Wawa tonight before we came here, and I'm in there and like picking something out, and all of a sudden the Go-Go's, Our Lips Are Sealed comes on.
Okay. Yeah.
That's a perfect punk cover. I mean, the Go-Go's, I mean, they were punk. Belinda Carlisle was like, wearing trash bags and stuff. So, but anyway, that's where their energy came from. And it's still in that song. I mean, it's popped out, but whatever. I mean, it goes where it goes. So.
Yeah. So who are some of your influences then, as far as like, if you're writing or whatever, do you try to emulate somebody or something, or are you influenced by others when you're writing?
I was into like the Beatles when I first started playing guitar, and then I got into the Ramones, and then it was like, I can play these songs,
Okay, yeah. What about like the Sex Pistols?
Oh
and all that
I
stuff?
love Sex Pistols.
Okay, all right.
And then I was into Black Flag.
Yeah.
But going back 60s, a lot of stuff I write, I don't know. I have kind of like 60s like British Invasion, like kind of going through my head, Kinks, and like the early Who.
The Stones, the Beatles,
like
all that stuff.
Definitely,
Nice.
I mean, I got like lyrically, like I got into the lyrics, so naturally, a person of my age, so of course Rush, man, like
Oh,
you
yeah,
don't
yeah.
care, like that.
Yep.
So like all the kind of, it was kind of cool, just like sort of the brainiac academic approach he took to the
Sure.
lyrics and things like that. But at
Yep.
the same time, eventually the sound I like, I was more into like Naked Ray Gun. I mean, just that power and that like
Yep.
Jeff Pizzotti, I think was his name, but he had
Mhm.
that kind of straight ahead voice, but he also like, they did the whoa,
Yeah,
so he's
yeah.
hitting some notes. I mean,
Nice,
they're
nice.
making it a little bit melodic in a way, like
Mhm.
like a chainsaw, but with
Yep.
melody. And I think for us, like, it's, I don't know if it's almost cliche, but yeah, the Replacements, of course,
Oh,
like,
yeah. Yep.
because we're loose and tight at the same time, I think, in a
Okay.
way that they were, and just sort of like you're playing it because this is what comes out.
Nice. Yeah.
Stuff.
How do you feel? So this totally off the wall, random question, but how do you feel about that whole loose versus tight mentality? And the reason why I bring it up is I was in a band a long time ago, original rock band, and I was basically booted out because I was not a tight enough player. And I was just like, Guns N' Roses isn't a super tight band, and look at those motherfuckers. So,
it's just about being in the pocket, and and everyone's pocket's different. Like I think Bill and I, like, sometimes will teeter on, like, we'll be chugging ahead, and it's a little different with us because there's two of us. If one of us is a bit off, it's a bit more noticeable. But like I was saying, like it being in the pocket, you could be in the pocket, you can be a little bit more on the looser side.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be,
like when I was in Rock God, it was described in the Philadelphia Inquirer, like as like it sounds like it's about to fall apart, but like
I
it
love
never
that.
does.
I love that. I love that, like, controlled chaos about a band. I absolutely love it. Now, don't get me wrong. I do still love tight bands like Tool. Right? Tool's a very tight band, like you'll never hear like a wrong note. You'll never hear something out of place. But like, I love when it feels like it's about to go off the rails.
I always felt like you notice your own mistakes more than the audience does.
True. Yeah.
Maybe maybe less so with just the two of us. I mean, you definitely, if we make a mistake, you can definitely hear it. I think that,
right. Well, yeah, there's not a bass guitar behind you.
Yeah, and there was like five, two guitars, bass, and drums.
Yeah,
and it definitely like covers up a lot more.
Sure.
I mean, like, simply put, I played in a band that we were described as a that was the Cold Water Flat Band. We were described as a punk metal band. And people would joke, I'm the punk and they're the metal. But they had their chops. They were good.
Right.
I mean, they were into Slayer and Metallica.
Yeah,
they were more on that side of things. But they also like the Descendants. So that was like kind of our middle ground.
Cool.
And like but man, I had to be on with that stuff because the way they were playing and whatever. And if I missed out, I'm like, fuck, you're already like trying to catch up. I was doing vocals for them. And, yeah. So that was like tight. And, even practices and stuff like that, you had to get down to business. And while that, I think I grew a bit as a musician being in a band like that. It was a little too tight for me. It was like in a sense where it was fun, but then when you're in a band where it's a bit looser, like, well, hey, we have a bit more of a margin. Then it's just kind of like, you can breathe.
Yeah, that's cool.
I was never in a band really that like worked on their parts.
Oh, really?
It was always just like just show up and play for like 2 hours and go home.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it wasn't really till the Koosmans that I even like really thought about what I was doing.
20 years into it, maybe I should think about what I'm doing.
That'll only hurt.
That's great. I love it. All right, so you guys are going to play some songs for us?
Sure.
Yeah. What do you know what you're going to play yet?
No, I don't actually.
No. Okay.
All right. Well, he'll pick one and I'll pick one.
Sounds good. Sounds good. All right, great. Well, thank you very much for being on the podcast. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Having us.
Awesome.
It was fun.
All right, this is White Castle Sunrise. This is from Mom Wheat.
Yes, that White Castle.
Ready?
Okay. All right. This is the answer. That was the answer to that question. It's the answer. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4.